In the autumn of 1851, in a stone farmhouse outside Strasburg, Pennsylvania, a woman named Anna Petersheim carried 2 oak buckets up a worn footpath from a limestone spring her grandfather had cleared in 1789. The water she poured into a stoneware crock that morning was colder than the air, mineral bright, and so clear that the bottom of the crock looked closer than it was. She did not boil it. She did not filter it. She did not add anything to it. That same spring is still flowing this week in a pasture 3 miles east of Strasbourg, and the great-great-granddaughters of Anna Petersheim are still carrying water from it in oak buckets that have been rebanded 6 times since the Civil War. It is one reason researchers at Johns Hopkins, studying plain communities for more than 30 years, keep documenting something that confuses them. Amish children in Lancaster County have measurably lower rates of asthma, lower rates of allergic disease, and a microbiome diversity that suburban American children lost 2 generations ago. The bottle of water sitting on your counter this morning has nothing in common with what Anna carried. Nothing mineral, nothing biological, nothing alive. What she dipped from limestone bedrock in 1851, the shelf at every gas station in America replaces with plastic, with disinfection byproducts, with microplastic fragments, and with chemistry the FDA has never required be printed on the label. Today, using 2026 testing data from Consumer Reports, the Environmental Working Group, and Orb Media, I'm going to show you why Amish families have never bought drinking water from a store, the 7 brands quietly poisoning yours, and a 5-minute home test that will change what you pour into a glass for the rest of your life. The Anabaptist families who arrived in William Penn's colony in 1737 did not bring plumbing. They brought dowsing rods, oak buckets, and a theology that said running water from God's bedrock did not require human improvement. The Ordnung, the unwritten code each district keeps, has resisted municipal water hookups for almost 300 years, not from stubbornness, but from a stubborn belief that what comes from limestone does not belong in a treatment plant. Sarah Yoder, an elder in Leacock Township, told a visiting journalist in 2019 that her family has never paid for a single glass of water in 11 generations. Decades of Johns Hopkins research, led by Mark Holbreich and Erica von Mutius, has consistently documented that Amish populations show endotoxin exposure profiles, gut flora richness, and respiratory health markers that mainstream Americans simply no longer possess. Researchers keep publishing the same finding. The Amish are doing something different. The something starts at the spring. Here is the pivot. In 1977, a French company named Source Perrier launched a marketing campaign in the United States that convinced upper-middle-class Americans that tap water was beneath them and bottled water was sophisticated. By 1987, sales had multiplied 17 times. By 1999, Pepsi launched Aquafina and Coca-Cola launched Dasani, both filtered municipal tap water sold back to Americans at 2,000 times the cost. Magazines told housewives that springs were unsanitary. Television told them plastic was progress. My own grandmother, somewhere in central Ohio, stopped drinking from the well her father dug in 1934 because Good Housekeeping told her the water needed testing. She replaced it with bottled water in 1991. She spent the last 14 years of her life on 6 medications. The Amish never got the memo. They did not subscribe. They kept the buckets. And 3 generations later, the chemistry inside the modern bottle proves they were right. Brand number 7 is Aquafina, marketed as pure, mountain fresh, crystalline. The reversal is one sentence. Aquafina is filtered Detroit, Wichita, and Fresno tap water, and 2018 Orb Media testing found 93% of bottles contained microplastic particles averaging 315 fragments per liter. The Amish contrast is brutal. Anna Petersheim's spring water has never touched a polyethylene terephthalate bottle in 174 years. Bottom line, you are paying for plastic-contaminated municipal water. Antimony leaching, acetaldehyde migration, BPA substitute bisphenol S in the cap liner, and a carbon footprint 2,000 times tap. Brand number 6 is Dasani. Coca-Cola's filtered tap water includes magnesium sulfate, potassium chloride, and salt added back for taste. Independent 2023 testing by Consumer Reports detected measurable PFOA in multiple Dasani lots. The forever chemical the EPA finalized enforceable limits on in April 2024. Sarah Yoder's spring runs through limestone that scrubs water for 10,000 years. Dasani's source ran through a Teflon plant. Bottom line, sodium-spiked microplastic soup. Disinfection byproducts, bromate formation under heat, endocrine active phthalates from the cap. Brand number 5 is Nestlé Pure Life, now sold under the Blue Triton label after Nestlé divested in 2021. Marketed as Family Trusted Purity Reversal, the 2017 Center for Environmental Health lawsuit and subsequent 2022 testing found arsenic levels in Pure Life exceeding the levels Nestlé itself recommended for infant formula preparation. Bottom line, arsenic, microplastics, BPA replacement chemistry, and a brand that bled Michigan aquifers dry while Flint went without clean water. Brand number 4 is Poland Spring, New England's heritage brand. A class action filed in Connecticut in 2017 documented that Poland Spring water has not come from a true natural spring since 1967. Drawing instead from boreholes drilled through groundwater, the state classifies as ordinary well water. Bottom line, you are paying spring prices for groundwater with documented manganese, sodium, and microplastic exceedances. Brand number 3 is Fiji Water, the square bottle, the artesian marketing, the island mystique. Reversal. The 2006 Cleveland Municipal Water Department ran side-by-side testing and found Fiji contained higher arsenic than Cleveland Tap. The 2020 Momivation panel detected total fluorine indicating PFAS contamination in multiple Fiji lots. Bottom line, an artesian aquifer pumped through diesel generators, shipped 8,000 miles in plastic that leaches antimony in tropical heat. Brand number 2 is Smart Water, Glasso's vapor distilled product owned by Coca-Cola. Vapor distillation strips every mineral your kidneys, heart, and bones require, and the World Health Organization, in its 2005 and reaffirmed 2019 report, explicitly warned that long-term consumption of demineralized water is associated with cardiovascular and bone density consequences. Bottom line, mineral strip tap water in plastic that leaches the same antimony and microplastic as every other PET bottle on the shelf. Brand number 1, the worst offender, is Essentia, marketed as ionized alkaline performance hydration at 9.5 pH, reversal. The 2021 Momivation independent laboratory testing detected total organic fluorine in Essentia at levels indicating PFAS contamination, and the alkalinity is achieved through electrolysis of municipal tap water with added potassium bicarbonate and sodium bicarbonate. The Amish contrast closes the section. Anna Petersheim's spring runs at a natural pH of 7.8, alkalized by limestone over 10,000 years with no electricity, no plastic, and no forever chemicals. Bottom line, the most expensive bottled water in America is electrified municipal tap with PFAS. The 3 clean alternatives, if you must buy bottled, are Mountain Valley Spring Water from Hot Springs, Arkansas, bottled in glass since 1871 with published third-party PFAS-free certification. Second, Castle Rock water from Mount Shasta, glass bottled, microplastic tested. Third, a simple Berkey gravity filter or AquaTrue reverse osmosis unit on your own tap, which removes PFAS, microplastic, and disinfection byproducts for 4 cents a gallon. Back in Leacoke Township this week, Sarah Yoder walked the same footpath Anna Petersheim walked in 1851. The process begins at a limestone fissure where water emerges at 52 degrees year-round. The bucket is white oak, banded in copper. The water travels 9 minutes from spring to crock. By evening, it is settled. By morning, it is poured. That water costs her household $0 a year. The same volume in Essentia bottles would cost her family roughly $4,000 annually. And every single chemical we just exposed across 7 brands, the antimony, the PFAS, the microplastic, is mathematically impossible to form in her crock. 3 home tests. First, the freezer test. Fill a glass jar with your bottled water and freeze it overnight. Pure water freezes clear from the outside in. Heavily mineralized or contaminated water freezes cloudy with a white core. Second, the evaporation test. Pour 2 ounces onto a clean black plate and let it evaporate over 48 hours. Spring water leaves a faint mineral ring. Distilled and reverse osmosis leave nothing. Heavy residue or oily film indicates dissolved solids. Third, the TDS meter test, a $12 meter from any hardware store. Quality spring water reads between 50 and 250 parts per million. Below 10 indicates demineralization. Above 500 indicates municipal contamination. 7 brands weaponizing plastic and forever chemistry against your body. 3 brands proving clean water still exists. 1 Amish practice that predates every single one of them by 300 years. 3 home tests you can run tonight. Your grandmother's grandmother drank from a spring. Your great-grandmother forgot how. Your mother was told tap was unsafe. You were told bottled was pure. None of it was true. Every skill the industrial water system convinced her she no longer needed is still here in Lancaster County, in Holmes County, in oak buckets that have not changed in 300 years. You are not too late. Hit subscribe to keep recovering what the grocery store quietly took from us. Tell me in the comments, did your own mother or grandmother carry water from a well or a spring? What state did she live in? What did that water taste like? I read every one of them. Next week, milk. The 7 dairy brands running the same playbook, the same 1947 betrayal, and the Amish family in Holmes County, Ohio, who has been milking the same way since Andrew Jackson was president.